I'll take two. They're not the same two, but I'll take two.
Hello, my name is Fox Rental. They can end with Fox, and I just got out of...
No lightsaber, stop, please.
I just got out of...
Tomb Raider! Oh, my brother with it. I was actually thinking about calling him to, like, have him, like, say it with me. Then I thought, that seems kind of effed up because he probably didn't see the movie. But, that kind of sucks because I wasn't able to take it. But I just saw the newest video game movie, Tomb Raider, and it's great. I freaking love it. I don't know if... And the thing is, what is it? And the thing is, like, I know I don't know how much they followed it to, like, the new rebooted game, but honestly, I really love this. I really do. Like, I only have, like, so many nitpicky gripes with it, but that's about it. This movie, honestly, is probably one of my favorite video game movies, and I think literally kind of defeats the whole, like, all video game movies are bad thing. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that this is pretty good. This is a pretty good movie. If you know about the rebooted game, and I honestly probably I want to try live streaming at some point. I want to try probably that one. I don't know, but I'll probably get no views, but still. The Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider video game, or the new series at least. Laura goes to an island to find her father, who went to go find some kind of Japanese, like princess or whatever that was there that has some kind of magical powers. I think in the game they said it was weather. In this, it's control over death, or has death in its wake. And basically, Laura thinks her dad doesn't know if her dad is dead, but doesn't want to like sign the papers to inherit his fortune or stuff like that. Even though her lawyer really, really wants her to do it, I'm like, she's just straight up evil. There's some reason why she's doing this. Even like when they're like, when Laura's about to sign the papers and like how she's leering and like how the lawyers look kind of like nervous or whatever. I'm just like, okay, something is freaking up. But basically this leads to her solving a puzzle box, but then leads her to her dad's old research place where he says, burn all my research and stuff like that. But she uses the research as well as tapes and everything to not only track down the island where everything is all happening, but also a guy who can take him there, or a guy who can take her there. And when she gets to the island, she gets captured. Turns out there's these guys that have been there. Her dad's been missing for 7 years. There's these guys that have been there for 7 years trying to bust open the mountains to try to find this tomb. They can't find it. And basically then leads to, the whole thing about Laura, like, actually knowing how to solve the puzzle, where the tomb is, and like she has the research that they steal from her. And honestly, I really love this movie. It's really good. And the thing is, like, even though like if it was like maybe like more, it could have been a little bit more gritty on some bits, but Laura doesn't. Even though Laura does have kind of like the not crisp clean look, but like she gets the crud beat out of her throughout this entire movie. And honestly, I feel like she felt like an actual person kind of in this. Because there's some scenes where it's like, if it was just like an action movie, like what is it? In the beginning part of it, when she's trying to track down like the boat, this boat, she's going around a Chinese dock, or I think it was Chinese, or maybe, I think it was Chinese, China. Tries to find a boat. These guys basically rob her and run. She chases after them, grabs the bag back, and the guy's like, see? Now get out of here. And she's like, no. Or the guy's like, no. We're going to cut out your tongue now. Pulls out a knife. In any kind of action movie, she would have went, okay. And then, done kung fu and, like, taken the knife out of his hand. But no, she's like, oh, crap. And just runs. I'm just like, yeah, that's probably a pretty good response to that. Mind you, like, that is probably a good response to that, which I don't disbelieve. Or like the point where like she gets the crud beat out of her, and this again, I basically told the person I was with watching this, I was just like, this island wants to kill her. It's freaking hilarious, kind of. It was like, but it's amazing too. Like at one point they escape the bad guys. bad guys, and like she jumps into a river, which then you see it kind of in the trailer where she then jumps onto like a rusted plane. The plane starts falling apart. What they don't show you is after she runs across the plane, and she jumps into the airplane after like the wing breaks off. The plane then starts shifting, and she's like, "Oh, come on!" And she has to then cut like these ropes that are on her arms to then break out. Thing falls. She lands on this cockpit that's about to break and fall into the abyss. She only grabs up and she has to look. Oh, grabs a freaking parachute, pulls the parachute. Parachute flies, falling. Parachute is super old, so it starts ripping and tearing. And she's like, "Oh God!" Falls. Hits the ground, has a large piece of metal stuck in her, and she has to pull the sucker out. Meets a character, and this character then has to stitch her up and everything. And it's really good. I honestly, like, spoilers for the movie. I highly recommend this right now. Go check it out. It is awesome. There are some twists, and I do like, even though some of the twists you can probably kind of get, but then, like, they kind of like avert that idea. But like, go watch this movie. Go watch this movie. I highly recommend it. Support this movie. I would like to see a franchise out of this. Then this thing needs way more love. It only has 45% of Rotten Tomatoes. Bull crap. This should have been fudge. Actually, what the fuck does Wonder Woman have? Because Wonder Woman I didn't even like at all. But not at all. But it wasn't the greatest movie. But basically, she goes to this island, and it's basically her trying to escape these people, but then also try to figure out what the heck, trying to figure out these things. Like, and the guy who saves her basically is her dad, which it seems like kind of like you mean like, oh, she found her dad. But bull crap that Wonder Woman gets better freaking rating than this movie. Bull freaking crap. Fudge me. But yeah, basically Laura gets saved by her dad at one point, and they have a really tender moment, which I kind of really like when that happens. And each character, the thing is, like, all the characters, they all have reasons and things that, like, I really do like. They all think these things through. Like, at one point, like, Laura hears a tape recording before she gets to the island of her dad saying, "There's an evil secret organization who's trying to collect these magical artifacts to rule the world." And Laura basically goes saying, "Yeah, I think my dad was losing his mind." Basically, that's basically what she says. And even like when they find the tomb or whatever, like the dad's like, at one point, because the dad's been there, and he seems a little crazy. He says he even seen like Laura as visions or whatever not visions, hallucinations. And again, like when they first meet, like I was real tender. I was like, "Oh God, I'm about to cry." Like I felt like this was so goddamn good. And they even do like fan service to the games pretty goddamn well. Where like at one point she grabs the boat. But anyways, like you see, like he basically admits that yeah, he is going a little crazy when he sees the visions. But then he's like, we have to get out of here. We have to, or we can't let them get to the tomb because there's the magic and stuff like that. And Laura's like, "Oh God, he's crazy." Like she doesn't go like that because that sounds like she's an a-hole. But like, "Oh, he's crazy. That's why he's rambling and all this stuff." And stuff like that. That's kind of messed up. And then so it is kind of the question of like, who's right, who's not. And like, as a movie, honestly, because everything that this movie has told us, there hasn't been anything to tell us that there is quote unquote magic in this world. There's nothing that would push that envelope in this world, and I do like that, because even in the games, like when they talk about magic, I think it was weather. I can't remember. I gotta play those. I gotta freaking finish it. I started the Let's Play and never finished it. But she talks about the magic of this lady, and even like the bad guy's like, "Do you really believe him?" And she's like, "I can't," because it's a gunpoint at one point. She's like, I can't let you die. Like, she doesn't want to see her father die. And I do like that. I really do love this. And like, the only time, because even things like, because the thing is like, it's main female protagonist, everything. So there are like some kind of check marks they kind of got to do at certain points of a movie where, like, that's how I feel when it's like nothing wrong with feminism and stuff like that, but I do mean, like, there are some kind of, like, things where, like, it's like, oh, this is just for this or some crap like that. I don't know. It's same thing I feel when I watch, like it's like a black only movie or something like that, where, like, it feels like they have to hit these specific points in like a black show, a black movie, stuff like that. And in some feminist women movies, they do have something similar to that. And I never felt that in this movie. I never felt anything like that. I never felt like this was something like, oh, men are evil, women are better than men or something like that. I never felt something like that. Like two girls like, haha, men are so stupid or some crap like that. I never felt anything like that. The only time I ever felt something like that was at one point where she punched, where they set up so well, where, like, at one point she's fighting a person, looks over and sees his crotch is right in frame and just goes, decks him right in the junk. And I'm just like, oh god. I'm like, that's the only time I felt like, haha, girls don't have that. So I'm just like, okay, for sure, whatever. But again, like, this Laura, unlike, let's say, the Angela Jolie one, which is like a straight up action hero or something like that, this character feels like a human. This character feels like a human. Where, again, she runs away from the knife at one point, or a point where she's fighting this one guy and has to choke him out, and basically she's like, has to hold his head under the thing, and it's not like, oh, like, dire action here. No, it's like, she is struggling to do this, and it makes sense, because, yeah, they try to say, like, she does some MMA, which, okay, yeah, awesome, but, she does some MMA, but she's not the strongest in it. They show that in the beginning of the movie, so they show that, like, yeah, she's not like, oh, I'm MMA, so I can do, whoa, I'm Black Widow. No, it's, fun, I better hold him down and shove his face into freaking water to kill this guy. And even then, when she looks at it, she's like, still like, oh my god, I just killed someone. And then, like, she passes out later because of the freaking wound in her side. She gets the crud beat out of her in this movie. And I feel like, yeah, this feels like, she feels the most like if someone just, like, went into this untrained, whatever. This is what I think it would look and feel like almost. And, like, again, like, this movie is basically, there's a tomb, these guys are digging for it, she escaped. After that, it's just like, and literally the bad guy says within, like, 2 minutes of meeting her, like, oh yeah, I killed your dad. And just like, well, I have no goddamn idea where this movie is going. But eventually you do find out that her dad is alive, so I guess maybe he kicked him off a freaking ravine and thought he was dead. That's one of the nitpicks in this movie. But yeah, there's stuff like that. But again, like, each character at least feels, each character's motivations I understand, including the villain, which I really do like. The villain of this, he's really just a henchman in and of himself, and that's what it felt like. But still, like, he's the main villain, the guy from Justified, which is an awesome actor. Basically, like, Laura, she goes to find her dad, and, you know, everything that happens to her feels like something that would happen to a human being. The dad is someone who believes, because he goes finding the supernatural because he wants to find something that tells him that his wife is on the other side, or that there's something out there. And, like, towards the end, like, towards when Laura finds him, like, yeah, he's a little crazy, and it kind of makes sense why she doesn't believe him, and, like, but stuff like that. But, like, you know, he's crazy, so, like, there is that thing of, okay, he's a little bit crazy, but then also it's like, we know there is something bad in there. And then even, again, the bad guy straight up says, I have 2 daughters just like you, pretty, brown hair, and all this stuff. And he's like, but I can't go home till the guy on this other side of this phone tells me, the person on the other side of this phone tells me I can go home. And I'm just like, and throughout the entire movie, it's not like, oh, I'm so evil, I'm gonna carve their skin or something like that. No, he feels like a character, he's like, I just want to go home. Throughout multiple times in, like, towards the end of the movie, he's just, like, saying, look, we can both just leave. We can both go home. I just need to walk out with this, and we're fine. We can leave. I don't have to be here. You can be with your dad. We're good. But no, like, towards the end, but no. Like, it never felt like he was evil. Everything made sense. At least to me, everything made sense in the movie. Like, even when, like, Laura, when she first escapes the bad guys, she runs, finds this, like, there's a giant ravine, river. Like, literally the person right next to me goes, jump! And I'm like, don't jump! There are rocks down there! Are you insane? And Laura's like, no. And she's like, there's a broken tree. There's a tree trunk. She's like, all right. And she tries to run across, but, of course, the tree trunk gets shot, and she falls into the river. I'm like, that at least makes more sense on why she would fall in than jump and pray you're gonna live, because that's like, no, she's gonna die. She's gonna hit the side of the rock, that giant rock down there. But it's good, and even the twist at the end, and even, well, one, when they actually get into the tomb, and, like, it's literally, like, a puzzle, and I love it at one point, they're just like, give me, like, at one point they have to, like, turn these little vases, they have little crystals that they put in this window thing to stop the floor from falling in, and they're like throwing the things, and she's just like, okay, this is the riddle, it's this one. Oh, it's not, just throw me all of them. And just tries all of them, doesn't work, until she's like, okay. Oh, tunk, tunk. Then it stops. It's like, holy crap, like throughout the entire movie, I was on like, holy fuck, like, I was on the edge of my seat a lot of the time, and that was great. This movie is awesome. I effing hate that it's at 46% when Wonder Woman is at freaking 93. F you on that. F goddamn you on that. If you want a good female protagonist movie, that is awesome, I think. I think this is the movie to freaking watch. God dang, like even like the beginning part, he's basically, she's what is it? A carrier for like a bike carrier or whatnot. And there's some things that show, like, at least everything that kind of happens, it shows that she has a life here, kind of. That how she kind of lives, stuff like that. Though there are, like, side characters that don't come up. Even then, they still add some humor, like the Indian family at one point, where, like, the parents are telling the guy, like, oh, you should ask her out or something like that. But then they're all looking off in the camera, and the guy, like, chokes and doesn't tell her, Laura leaves. And the mom just goes, bang, hits him in the back of the head. I'm just like, oh, God. Like, there's some good, funny moments in this. And again, like, again, everything's trying to kill her. And even towards the end, where she basically sacrifices herself. Mind, spoilers again. Spoiler, there's more to that scene. But she basically at one point goes like, I can't let you leave. Because it turns out the Queen of Death wasn't actually about, and they hinted throughout this entire movie almost, kind of, or at least through the tomb. They kind of hint at it completely. I'm like, oh crap, that's freaking awesome. They hint at it through the entire thing. It's freaking awesome. But it turns out because the queen, the legend says that the queen was an evil person, had evil magic, and she would kill everyone with death and destruction or whatnot. But it turns out no, she sacrificed herself because she has the zombie virus. Okay, it sounds kind of but still, like, how it happens, like, she has some kind of virus that she was immune to, and she was also the carrier, which if she touches someone, you die, and I guess you become a zombie. They didn't really quite say, like, undead. It's more probably like rabies, kind of, but still, it's zombie virus. And so, like, the Trinity, this secret organization, basically, I feel like this and Assassin's Creed can be in the same universe almost, but because they're like, oh, it's Trinity. It's Trinity. It's these guys. It's this guy. It's like, oh no, it's the Assassin's Order. They've been collecting artifacts, or it could be the Templars. But I don't know. It was kind of. It was like, man, this is the better freaking Assassin's Creed movie. It's a better video game movie because even scenes where like that happen in the movie feel like the game without forcing it. Without forcing it, like Laura sneaking around with the bow and arrow at one point, or like she's on the boat that's being broken up, and there's like the thing she has to jump up. Like there's a classic video game thing: you jump up, grabs the ladder, and then does the monkey bar climb across. Or when she fuck, I'm trying to think of it. Like all these different things, like they have those video game moments, and like the things like at one point she's like, oh look, there's the climbing axe from like the game that she's like. Boom! And fights with it. Just like, fudge yeah! Fudge yeah! It felt so good. It's like, that's from the game, and it's not crammed down my goddamn throat. And that was good. It felt good. This felt like a good video game adaptation movie. And it, honestly, I want to see sequels to this. I'm hoping this does well. Like, what is it? It came out Friday, but when I went today, like, there wasn't, like, much people in the theater, and I'm like, why are there anyone here? I was like, honestly, I want to go into the movie because I haven't seen any reviews or anything about it, so I was just like, I'm going into this basically blind, other than seeing a couple trailers, and like, I'm just like, fudge yeah! Fudge yeah! I hope like there's no stigma like, oh, it's a video game movie, it sucks. I'm like, no, god dang it, no! This should be better than this should get a better rating than goddamn Wonder Woman. Like, the only problems I ever had were like, at one point where, like, the boat is being crashed on the Asian guy that takes her there, he goes, we have to go now! But, like, he doesn't sound all that distressed in his voice. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit of bad acting. Or another point, a similar point I had that where, like, it could have been more intense if the guy would have put a little bit more emotion into it, but didn't. I'm like, okay, that. Or a couple times where I did, like, I kind of laughed a little was, like, whenever Laura screamed, because she screams like a little girl. She's like, ah! 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 She's like, oh my god. It's freaking funny. But then again, that at least felt like, you know what? She's not like an action hero. That's her scream. She's a person. She has flaws. That is her thing. She's not gonna like, oh, ow, oh my god, I got shot, but I'm awesome. No, it's like, oh god, like something like that. This movie's good. This movie's good. It's goddamn better than freaking Wonder Woman. God, I freaking Wonder Woman movie. Go check my review on that. I didn't. That movie. Ding! It was one of the other nails in the coffin for me, at least. Justice League I thought was better than Wonder Woman, but yeah, this movie. Go watch this movie. If you're one of the feminazis, go watch this movie. If you're someone who likes video games, go watch this movie. If you want a strong female character, go watch this goddamn movie. This is a character. This isn't a character. This is a person. This character feels like a person. If there are plot holes, maybe. Like, at one point, like, spoilers towards the end, like, it turns out, actually, yeah, her attorney is Miss Evil. But even then, like, it's like a secret organization that's apparently everywhere, and, like, now Laura's gonna go fight them. And I'm just like, Fudgy, yeah, I want to see a freaking trilogy. You freaking earned that. I want to see more. God dang it. It didn't have that layer of suck when I watched the Assassin's Creed movie. Even though, again, I can like that movie. I can watch that movie and be like, alright, whatever. I have Aguilar's Hidden Blade. But, I have all those hidden blades. Even if the Assassin's Creed series isn't that great, I still kind of like it. But even then, I can still admit that the Assassin's Creed movie was not a good adaptation whatsoever. But I can agree this is. I can say that this is the good movie, and you should definitely go watch it. It's great. It has some turns. Again, like, it's kind of like something that's like, okay, they have to find their way to the tomb, but it's towards the end, like, she's stuck on an island. She can't get out anywhere. There's no help anywhere. So she has to basically do everything by herself. They're, like, and again, she feels like her, it's not like, oh, I'm the epic, awesome chick who can beat the crap out of anyone and stuff. So, this doesn't faze me. No, she's like, when she's there alone on the beach, she's like, well, she's screwed because she feels like a person. She doesn't feel like an action hero, like, oh, everything's going to be okay. No, I feel like something bad could happen. The only thing is, like, again, like, there's the cliche of, like, teary-eyed, she finds the dad, and then, like, towards the end of the movie, he dies. And I'm like, oh, I kind of would have liked if she would have saved him. That was probably, like, my biggest gripe with the ending. That was probably the only gripe. And then I'm like, god dang. I don't know, but this movie was good. I liked it. Go check it out. Go check this out. Go F Wonder Woman. Go check out this movie. This is a good movie. Go check it out. But either way, thank you so much for watching. My name is Foxy9, so they can name it Foxy, whichever videos that I've done. Links are on my face, descriptions are on there somewhere, and we will see you later. Go check out this goddamn movie. F Wonder Woman. Some of you probably will, or would want to.